Have you ever passed someone on the street and felt like they were carrying 1,000 unsaid stories in their eyes? What would you do if that stranger looked at you and whispered, "Please, don't let them find me"? Would you walk away, or would you change their life forever? Today's story on Kindness Stories will shake your soul. But before we begin, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel, because your support helps us keep telling stories that matter. It was raining that evening in Chicago. The kind of cold, early winter rain that soaks through your bones and makes everything look grayer than it already is. Daniel Scott, a 41-year-old single dad, was on his way home from his shift at the bakery. He was tired, his boots were wet, and his jacket was doing a poor job keeping the wind out. But what weighed heavier than the rain was the silence in the back seat of his truck. His 6-year-old daughter, Ellie, had fallen asleep, cradling her favorite plush rabbit. He pulled over at a nearby gas station, intending to grab a cup of coffee to keep himself awake on the drive home. That's when he saw her. A young woman, maybe in her early 20s, sat on the bench near the bus stop. She wasn't just cold, she looked terrified. Her clothes were thin, completely drenched, and clung to her like frost. Her hands were shaking, but it was her eyes that struck him the most, wild, desperate, scanning every car that passed like she was expecting someone horrible to appear. Daniel hesitated for a moment. He wasn't the kind of man to get involved in trouble, not after everything he'd been through. His wife had died during childbirth, and since then, it had just been him and Ellie. Life was quiet and hard, but safe. Still, something about the girl's trembling shoulders made it impossible for him to turn away. He approached slowly, not wanting to startle her. "Hey," he said gently, keeping his voice low. "You okay?" She flinched like he'd shouted. I'm fine. Just waiting for the bus." "There's no bus coming for another hour," he said, motioning toward the schedule posted nearby. She looked away. "I'll wait." He was about to turn back when she whispered it, so softly he almost didn't hear her. "Please, don't let them find me." Daniel froze. He turned back slowly. "Who's looking for you?" She looked up, and now he saw the tear streaks running down her wet cheeks. "Please. Just let me sit here for a while. Don't tell anyone you saw me." He could have walked away. Pretended he heard nothing. But there was something in her voice, a trembling vulnerability that reminded him too much of the nights his daughter woke up from nightmares, crying for her mother. "My truck's right there," he said after a pause. "It's warm. I've got coffee and some dry clothes in the back. I'm not gonna hurt you. I have a kid, see?" He pointed toward Ellie, who was still asleep in the back seat. The girl looked up, hesitated, and then nodded slowly. She climbed into the passenger seat, hugging herself tightly. Daniel handed her a towel and one of Ellie's blankets, watching her shiver as warmth began to return to her fingers. He didn't ask questions right away. He just started driving. After a few minutes, he glanced over. "Got a name?" She looked down. "Lena." "All right, Lena. I'm Daniel. That's Ellie in the back. She's harmless, but she snores." A small smile cracked on her lips despite herself. It was the first time she'd smiled in what looked like days. He brought her home, gave her soup, and let her sit by the heater while Ellie played with her toys. That night, as the wind howled outside, Lena finally spoke. "I ran away from them. I was being forced to marry someone twice my age. My stepfather made a deal with a man, money in exchange for me. My mother didn't stop him. She just let it happen. Daniel's fists clenched under the table. He had heard of such things happening in other countries, on the news maybe. But to hear it firsthand from someone trembling in his kitchen made his stomach turn. I escaped 2 nights ago. I haven't slept. I've been hiding, moving between train stations and bus stops. I thought I was safe until today. I saw them, they were looking for me. She looked up at him again, her eyes filled with panic. I don't know what to do. Daniel took a long breath. You stay here tonight. No one's going to find you. Not if I have anything to say about it. But what if they come? He looked at her firmly. Then they'll have to go through me. She stared at him, unsure how to respond. She'd met many men in her short, troubled life, none like this. A quiet baker with rough hands, tired eyes, and a heart that didn't hesitate to help a stranger. That night, Lena slept in Ellie's room. Ellie offered her the top bunk and tucked her in with a sheepish grin. You can keep Mr. Snuffles, she said, placing the rabbit beside her. He keeps nightmares away. It was the first night in years Lena didn't have one. The next morning felt different. Lena opened her eyes in a warm bed, wrapped in a blanket that didn't smell of fear but of comfort. From the kitchen came the sweet scent of chocolate chip pancakes, and Ellie's little giggles filled the air like sunshine. Daniel looked up as she entered. Morning. You hungry? Ellie already had 3 pancakes. Lena hesitated. You didn't have to make any for me. I know, he smiled, but I wanted to. Ellie walked over with syrup on her cheek and placed a fork in Lena's hand. Daddy says pancakes make scared people brave. Lena let out a soft laugh, the first in what felt like forever. But peace has a way of being temporary when you're on the run. Later that day, as Daniel stepped outside to collect wood, he noticed something troubling, a black SUV slowly driving past the cabin trail. The same kind Lena had described. Tinted windows. Slowed down just a little too long. His instincts screamed danger. He rushed inside. Lena, did they drive a black SUV? Her face turned pale. Yes, why? Daniel didn't hesitate. We need to leave. Now. I'm taking you and Ellie to the lake cabin. No one knows about it. You'll be safe there. The drive was long and quiet. The lake cabin was old but safe, hidden deep in the forest. For a few days, the 3 of them found a rhythm. Meals by the fire. Story time with Ellie. Silence that felt peaceful, not terrifying. But on the 4th night, trouble returned. Daniel saw tire tracks near the cabin, fresh ones. Then, a loud knock. We know she's in there, a voice barked. Send her out, or we come in. Lena froze in fear. I can't go back. Daniel loaded his old rifle. And you won't. He turned to Lena. Take Ellie. Go out the back. Follow the trail to the truck. Hide. I'll hold them here. No. I can't leave you. You can. You have to. Protect her. Lena grabbed Ellie and slipped out the back, tears blurring her vision. Inside, Daniel stood firm at the front door, heart pounding. But before anything could escalate, sirens pierced the night. Red and blue lights washed over the trees. Police cars screeched to a stop. Officers stormed the property. 2 men were arrested. Lena and Ellie were found safe in the truck, hugging tightly. The nightmare was over. In the weeks that followed, Lena's case went to court. Her stepfather and the man she was promised to were both convicted. Justice was served. One morning, Daniel handed Lena a letter. "It's from family court. I applied to be your guardian. If you want, this can be your home. For good." Lena's eyes filled with tears. "You want to keep me?" Daniel nodded. "You're not a stranger anymore, Lena. You're family." If this story touched your heart, please like the video and subscribe to Kindness Stories. Your support helps us keep sharing true stories of courage, compassion, and hope.